Could board members please take their seats so we can get started? All right, we'll call to order the Beaufort County Board of Education business meeting of September 3, 2024. This meeting is being conducted via hybrid video conferencing, and it is also being live streamed by the county channel. We have a quorum in the media center. We have Earl Campbell, Victor Ney, William Smith, Angela Middleton, Colonel Geyer, and myself. And then online, we have Carlton Dallas and Ingrid Boatwright. In accordance with the new safety and security guidelines, bags, backpacks, and purses are prohibited by the public at the Beaufort County Board of Education meetings. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker on Beaufort County School District and school-related topics. Citizens wishing to participate in public comments can do so in person or via phone. There are 2 scheduled public comment forum times during each board meeting. The first is a 30-minute session near the beginning of the meeting, limited to topics on the board meeting agenda. The second is a 15-minute session which takes place prior to adjournment and no later than 9 p.m. Requests to participate in public comments via phone will be accepted via email the day of the meeting from 5 o'clock to 5:30 p.m. for the first time frame and from 6 to 6:30 p.m. for the second opportunity. Requests should include the speaker's name, phone number, as well as topic and must be emailed to the Executive Administrative Assistant to the Board, Robin Cushingberry, at Robin, and that's Robin with a Y, .cushingberry@beaufort.k12.sc.us. Requesters will subsequently receive a phone call during their respective public forum time and should be ready to speak. Citizens desiring to participate in person must fill out a public comment card that can be obtained from the board clerk upon arrival. In the event the board is not finished addressing all items on the September 3rd, 2024 agenda, the board will reconvene at 6 p.m. tomorrow evening to finish the agenda items. Madam Secretary, can we please have a motion to go into executive session?
Not work. So I'm the killer. We're gonna use. Okay. Thank you. I move that we go into executive session for the following: employment matter, personnel ratification report pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated section 30-4-70A1.
Thank you. The second was by Victor Ney. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand and say aye. Aye. And online, Dallas and Boatwright, Boatwright Dallas. We go alphabetically. Ingrid, I think, stepped away. Carlton?
Dallas is aye. Dallas is aye.
Okay. So we have 7 yeses and no nays and no abstentions. So we will now go into executive session. Good evening and welcome to the Beaufort County Board of Education Business Meeting of September 3, 2024. The meeting is now called to order. We have been in executive session and now we're back in public session. Do we have any employment matters, or I should say, do we have any action as necessary or appropriate regarding matters discussed in executive session, Madam Secretary?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, I move that we approve the personnel ratification report for this month.
Second. Thank you, Mr. Nay. Any discussion? All right, all in favor? And the present in the room, please raise your hand if you vote in the affirmative for the motion to approve it. Aye. Mr. Campbell? Aye. Okay. Now we'll go online and we'll go alphabetical. So we'll go Boatright, Dallas
Oh,
Hay.
Okay,
Please
sorry.
state your last name and your vote.
Okay, Boatright abstain.
Thank you.
Dallas, I.
Hey, aye.
So we have 8 yeses and no nos and 1 abstention, which is Boatright. So the ratification report passes. Next up, we need the approval of the agenda.
So moved, Madam Chair.
A second? Okay, Mr. Smith, second the motion. Any discussion? Aye. Aye. Online?
Dallas, I.
Boatright, aye, sorry.
Hey, aye.
All right. The approval of the agenda is unanimous. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Please be seated. The media has been properly notified. Next, we have Beaufort High School's band, and they are outside right here in the courtyard. So we'll go out there, but I just wanted to announce it over the microphone so those of us online can hear what they're doing. And the Beaufort High School band is going to perform, and I'm sure I'm going to butcher the my pronunciation, Los Cuervos by Jay Dawson and El Gato Triste by Chuck Mangione, arranged by Dawson, under the direction of Matthew T. Benner, the director of the bands and orchestra at Beaufort High School. So we'll go outside to listen to them and then we'll come back in for the rest of the meeting.
So thank you so much for inviting us to come and perform for you today. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Board and Dr. Rodriguez, for the invitation. I would be remiss if I didn't thank my booster parents while I was here for all their support, and my volunteer staff, Ms. Amanda Trimpe, Mr. Michael Gautier. I forgot your first name. Everybody calls you Mr. G, I get. And Miss Meredith Nelson, my garden instructor, and my students for putting in all the effort over the last couple of months, excuse me, to prepare part of the show that you heard tonight. there's a third song that we unfortunately did not have time to bring to you this evening. But you can check us out September 28th when we travel to Walterboro for a competition that afternoon. And at every Beaufort High home game. So you can come see us there. So again, thank you so much to everybody for all the efforts. Like I said, students especially for all of the time that you put in. This is purely our band is 100% extracurricular. Everything they do happens after the school day ends. We don't spend any time in our classes going through any of the marching music. So they have the commitment to come in and work on music after the entire school day and giving up 2 weeks of their summer to come in and do it during band camp as well. So thank you to all of them for doing well and sounding great. So again, thank you so much. We've got a Pierce a while there. It's 7:20.
Yeah, now it's on. Thank you. What a nice performance by Beaufort High School. All right, next on our agenda is our points of celebration. And tonight we are celebrating 3 of our board colleagues for their levels that they've attained in the South Carolina School Boards Association Boardmanship Institute. South Carolina School Boards Association Institute, Boardmanship Institute, was established in 1982 and offers a year-round training curriculum focused on leadership skills for board members on state and national educational issues. Board members are recognized for reaching each of the 6 levels. Level 1 is 25 cumulative points. Level 2 is 40. Level 3, 100. Level 4, 200. Level 5, 300. And level 6 is 300 and must have level 5 recognition for 1 year and then pass an online test. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we are recognizing 3 of our board members. One is here in attendance, and that is Victor Ney. He has attained level 1 and receives a certificate. So Victor, please come forward. And we also have 2 that I believe are online, that have earned level 2, and they receive a certificate and a silver pin, which we will keep here at the office until they are able to pick it up. And that is both Carlton Dallas and Chloe Gordon. So congratulations to the 3 of you.
Thank you, Madam Chair and fellow board members.
Next on our agenda is first public comments, and we do not have any. We do have several for the second session, and we will call those commenters up to the podium when the time is we reach that section. I don't really have a chair report for tonight, although I would just say I hope everybody had a very safe and relaxing long weekend, and wish our students and families well as they're back at school and continuing their hard work. We have tonight one committee report, operations. We did have a motion coming out of the operations committee at the work session, but we did not get a committee report at that time. And so tonight we have Carlton Dallas online, and he will give us the committee report.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair and fellow board members. We had our most recent Operations Committee meeting August the 20th, I believe it was. And we covered several different topics. We covered construction summary, which looks good. There were a couple of items that we wanted to note where the operations team and the other members of the administration have actually worked together to improve some of the responses we get in certain situations. One is where we had a notice of completion letter. And that letter evolved from some changes a few years ago, where it was decided that we would be a little bit firmer about issuing those in an effort to help our construction partners understand the importance of meeting their targets and deadlines. And that was issued with a potential penalty of $750 a day. And then at Whale Branch, we had a subcontractor who had some challenges, but they were issued a notice to cure on July 23rd, and very much appreciated. They responded on July the 29th, and we were able to confirm that gap was closed on August 6th. So kudos to the operations committee, all the other parts of the school administration and staff that worked together to achieve this. And this is on the 2019. The closeouts on slide 33, but it's on the same page. We got 30 project closeouts. We'll be focusing on those since it's from 2019, but we certainly are looking forward to the same amount of progress shown in other areas of the Beaufort County School District in terms of improvement. There's $123,653 left in terms of program contingency remaining. So we still have some flexibility in that regard. And if you allow me, we'll talk about the construction for 2023. May River, the GMP is expected by early September but that's May River Elementary School. May River Early Childhood Center, the construction designs are due August 29th. So we'll follow up on those in the meetings in September. May River High School, the CTE and the JROTC CDs are due August the 19th. And Ladies Island Middle School replacement are due August the 29th as well. So construction team, and again, all the people that are involved are moving these things forward. So very pleased with that. In terms of financial, $11.5 million left in program contingency and 16.7 in project contingency. So that is comforting at this point in time, but just like in 2019 referenda, we have to, and our leaders and our colleagues and operations are really working collectively to make sure that we continue to move that forward. If I may move to community outreach, there have been 12 interested companies on the Women and Minority Business Enterprise that were looking for employees. So we certainly want to have a more robust engagement on that. And so there was some real good discussions about how we could hopefully improve that. And then there was a meeting, community outreach meeting on the Ladies Island Middle School design. And we had a really good conversation there about how do we engage board members. And I applaud the board members who were attending the ops meeting for stepping up and asking how they might be able to help in recommending that, and I also applaud operations group for responding, and they made a commitment that they're going to involve the board members, and the board members will take their normal leadership role in the community of helping spread the word. So if we can move on, if we can go to custodial, you'll see that one of the innovative efforts taken has been to actually separate and have 6 different groups for custodial responsibility managed by 3 different service providers. The reason for that is to provide opportunity for us to take a look at what best practices may evolve in one that can be ethically transported to another and benefit the overall operation in terms of our custodial. And you'll see those firms are ABM, Bud, and Interstate. And we're looking forward to doing some comparative analyses in the performance between those 3 entities as going forward. In terms of cleaning, you'll see in the presentation that there's some really good visuals as to what the result is and the outcome is after a real rigorous cleaning effort. And as I've learned, and most of you already have known for years, that the environment and the aesthetics of where kids go to school really is a performance booster and a morale lifter. So that's good to see as well. We also discussed best bus conduct and just some anecdotal comments about, not just on the Beaufort County School District buses. We think we have a pretty good handle on it, but society-wide, there may be an opportunity for there to be firmer delivery of discipline where needed and where repetitive, so that students feel safe in terms of traveling on our buses. And then the last one is that we reviewed the bus routes, which is a real complex operation, and I personally had no idea the multitude of times and routes and the limitations that are inherent in law and safety guidelines. But again, give kudos to the team for how they are managing that. So with that, I'll cease and see if there are any questions. And I think Mr. Otting is if he's in the audience, he too can answer any questions that may arise.
Are there any questions or comments by board members? Thank you for your report, Mr. Dallas. There don't seem to be any questions.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right, next we're moving right along on our agenda is board business action. The board always needs to vote on any donation that is in the amount of $5,000 or greater. And today we have a donation from an anonymous source in the amount of $10,000 for medication carts for each school. So do we have a motion to approve?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the donation for $10,000 from the anonymous donor for medication carts for each school.
I'll
And-
second that motion.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Smith, second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Boatright,
And
aye.
online?
Sorry, Boatright, aye.
Dallas, aye.
Hey, aye.
The motion is approved unanimously. And I would like to thank on behalf of the board, the anonymous donation in the amount of $10,000. That is very generous. And our schools will very much appreciate it. Next, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda meeting minutes, August 13th and August 23rd.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda for August 13, 2024 board meeting minutes and August 23rd, 2024 work session minutes.
All in favor?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped second, but Victor reminded me. All right. Mr. Nay second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Online?
Boatright, aye.
Dallas, I.
Hey, aye.
The motion carries unanimously to approve the consent agenda. Next, we have future agenda topics. As you know, with agenda setting each meeting, we keep a running list. So I know we have some on that list still. Okay.
Madam Chair, if now's the
Yeah.
appropriate time, I do have one that's a little bit off center, but I think it might be relevant. I have
Sure.
been,
So, Mr. Dallas, just, you can mention the, topic and I will write it down, but you can't get into the details of, talking about it really.
no problem. It is the correlation of two-parent homes, and I'm agnostic as to the orientation or anything else relative to the two parties. But there seems to be, from what I'm reading, a lot of information that says that two-parent households are very important in long-term academic performance. And so just would like to have some research around that.
Thank you. Dr. Rodriguez, do you have any announcements?
No, ma'am.
All right. Next, we do have several public commenters and yes. Okay. All right. So there's 4 people here that are going to speak. And by filling out these public comment cards, you have agreed to abide by the rules for speaking, which means that your comments must be germane to the Beaufort County School District or in the school board's purview, and that your comments are limited to 3 minutes, and there'll be a timer that you'll see while you're speaking. You're going to sit at that desk that's in the aisle where the public is currently seated and speak into the microphone. And I'm not going to read everything on this card, but I think that's kind of the gist of what you need to know. So first, we have Ms. Sonia Bellamy, and her topic, it's quite long, I will read it. The absolute top reason that band and art go together well is because they both bring life, joy, encouragements, and most importantly, movement to the body. See, even exercise, mobility changes lives every day. Depression, I believe the word is angry, sadness. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what the last word is. Maybe despair, but I'm not sure that's correct. I think it is despair. All right. So, Ms. Bellamy, please come forward and you may deliver your remarks.
Okay. I don't know.
You can do that.
I get to sit down? Yes, ma'am. I have dealt with band all my life, and I wanted to bring to attention that the music that the children do, whether it's loud or a sweet or a soft or a melody, it does bring and it changes in a lot of people's lives. And so even with my children, all these DVDs they've been listening to since they were in the womb, and it brings such a joy. Even if children have some type of disability or anything, it breaks the chains. And just as I put in the comments and the extra stuff I was gonna put, it's hard to have a band or it's hard to have a parade and you don't have music. When you hear the music, it moves people and it changes their whole mindset. So I think it's important that we bring it to the attention of the board. Music, band, orchestra, sound travels and it moves people in such a way. And just as I said, depression changes people who have mental issues, or you don't have any mental issues, but it just changed the whole dynamics of your mind and your day. So I think it's important that we bring it to the attention, all schools. from pre-K to all the way to high school and college. The point of having music is going to change people's lives. So I think it's important that we understand that and bring attention to whatever it is that they need. The parents go through a lot of stuff to make sure that they're in place for these concerts and these parades and things. It's a lot to bring. So that's my main point, is to make sure that we understand, be there for the children, whatever that they need, so that they can bring joy to people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, we have Devontae Singleton, and he is going to introduce himself to the public and the Beaufort County School Boards, the school board, Board of Education, as Riverview Charter School's new director.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair, esteemed members of the board, Superintendent Rodriguez, along with his executive cabinet, as well as community members. My name is Devontae Singleton, and I am extremely honored to speak before you today as the new school director at Riverview Charter School. First, I want to express my deepest appreciation for the concerted effort of this board, as well as Beaufort County School District. You all have made an exemplary steward of education in our community for several years. Your dedication to Riverview and allowing us to provide diverse and meaningful educational opportunities to our students is truly commendable. And it is through your leadership that our students thrive as BCSD students, not while they are just here at Riverview, but also when they enter BCSD high schools. At Riverview, my team and I, alongside with our dedicated board of directors, we are all committed to ensuring that we lead alongside BCSD so as to continue creating enriching learning environments for our students. This truly emphasizes the whole child. I want to assure you that Riverview is fully invested in this partnership. We understand that the success of our students is a shared responsibility, and we cannot do what we do without the support and collaboration of the district. As we continue to grow our relationship, I would like to personally invite each of you to get more engaged with Riverview. We have several upcoming events, including our annual Stingray Scramble fundraiser that's happening this month in September, as well as the Beaufort Twilight Run in early spring. Your presence and partnership at these events would mean a great deal to our school community, and I would love to have you as our special guests. In addition, I would like to personally invite each of you to visit Riverview when your schedule permits. I'll leave extra copies of my business cards with Superintendent Rodriguez for your convenience in case I wasn't able to get one to you. And in closing, I just want to reaffirm my personal commitment to fostering a strong, lasting partnership with Beaufort County School District. Together, I'm confident that we will continue to make a profound impact on the lives of our students and the future of this community. Thank you all for your trust and support. And without further ado, not sure if you all are a little hungry like I am, but if you get out of this meeting before 9 tonight, I'd love to have you all join us at Hearth Wood Fired Pizza. They are hosting an athletic spirit night for our athletic teams. So please come on out and enjoy some pizza. I'm looking forward to working with each of you. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Next up, we have Jim Miller, and his topic is quantitative comparison of Beaufort County School District's bands compared with others in the state.
If I could, before we start, I'd like to give a hand of applause to the Beaufort band. They mentioned, the director mentioned that they were going to a contest at Walterboro. I think that'll be the first contest for them in 3 years. So it'll be a new experience for many of the students. Now, and I appreciate that as an opening. My subject is really quantitative comparison analysis of Beaufort School District's bands compared to others in the state. We all know that we have many test scores, et cetera, for the other academic areas. There are none that for bands and many of the art areas that compare how we function as a district compared to other schools. I have worked with the district and have prepared a rather substantial presentation that I think has helped the school district understand what this means of how we quantitatively, not subjectively, but quantitatively compare to other schools. I welcome the opportunity for you folks to work with me. I know the band is, or the district is working toward those new goals, but I think we need to work and see that they're being accomplished. I wish I had time to review these 35 pages or so, and so you could actually see everything, but let me summarize in one way. There are basically 4 areas that the South Carolina Band Directors Association puts together various ways and elements for people to work or bands to work. They include things like marching, a concert, sight reading, etc. There are 4 ways. 3 of our 6 high schools do not participate in any one of those 4. It's even worse for middle schools. In summary, I would say there is one. I'm out of. I will leave that one for another time. But thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Anthony Cambria. His topic is academic achievement.
Good evening, everyone. The superintendent has stated, and I quote, "I'm driven by the notion that a great education is the key to a person's future, and I dedicate myself to ensuring that each and every child receives one." Unfortunately, the latest Department of Education data reveals a different vision. The numbers clearly show that there is a broad divide in educational outcomes among our students and between our schools. Why do minority and the most vulnerable students continue to underperform on the algebra end of course exam year in and year out? When will facts and data matter? In the last 5 years, the board, at the behest of the superintendent, has increased yearly operational spending by more than $79 million for staff compensation, enhanced technology, and facility maintenance, claiming that doing so equates to investing in students. Plus another $82 million from the federal government to address academic needs related to COVID pandemic. That's more than $160 million invested in students. The demographic grade distribution data for the 4 largest and most vulnerable subgroups shows a different view. Almost 80% of limited English proficiency students scored a D or an F in algebra. More than 70% of African American students scored a D or an F. More than 60% of pupils in poverty scored a D or an F. Almost 60% of Hispanic Latino students scored a D or an F. Less than 35% of white students scored a D or an F. What explains this broad disparity in academic performance? How do these results align with the superintendent's driving vision of a great education for every child? A close inspection of the data makes it clear that promises are not being kept. The state's algebra performance reveals that there is a strong probability that 60 to 80% of our students will not enjoy a prosperous life. George Washington Carver stated, 99% of all failures come from people who have a habit of making excuses. This is an important topic for this district. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Next up, we have Thomas Bellamy Jr., and his topic is Children Enjoy Music of All Kinds. Music truly moves them as well as has the ability to set the mood. Band builds unity and courage. It also strengthens self-confidence.
Hello. Band, it has done wonders for my name. I can honestly say that. My name is Thomas Bellamy Jr. and my son, Thomas Bellamy III, he plays the trombone and he's been in the band for over 2 years now. And as far as I know, he is the first Bellamy to be in a band. And for him to play the trombone, it's kind of unlikely, me being honest, in the Black community, that a young Black or African American young man, he wants to play the trombone. And the band, it also builds leadership. He has younger twin siblings who wants to follow in his footsteps and also want to be in the band. So, hey, the band, it's making my name look great, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. That completes our second public comment session. And there being no further business on the agenda, we can adjourn by unanimous consent if there are no objections. Adjourned, and thank you for all of you who attended.